Hi, I'm Donovan Cox. As you know, I'm running to be your next Ward 1 councillor. So I thought I'd welcome you into my office so you can see where I am, talk about a bit where we are in the campaign, and I'm hoping that shortly we can go out into the community and talk about some issues that are important to residents. So welcome to Bronte Harbour. There have been a lot of comments from residents about the waterfront. We had some flooding last year which created a lot of damage, and so I wanted to just talk about what's going on. The old boat launch was severely damaged, so the town moved quickly to find a solution. You can see just behind me, they're now building a new boat launch. Behind it is Bronte Beach, and there's a lot of damage to the parking lot over there. That also is being fixed. But you can see the trees that line the area as well. One has fallen down. That could be a safety issue, so that will be tidied up, and I'll make it my business to make sure that happens. And you can, it's very clear that if it is tidied up, we clear the space a bit, all of the residents surrounding us, plus the tourists, will have a much better view of Bronte Beach and the outer water. Again, this will enhance the value of our area. On our right here, we have what is called the old Grebs land. That's privately owned property because I'm getting a lot of questions about the docks. Why are they dilapidated? Can something be done to clean them up? And there have been long discussions going on at the town with the old Grebs land, and a solution will be coming to you in the near future. One of the ways we've been stressed in the community, as everybody knows, is parking and towing. And really, one of the issues that caused it had to do with this development alone. The former owners were basically letting residents use their space for visitor parking. But when they began the project, they had to limit that because they needed to use their own parking for their own customers. What that did was that basically pushed visitors into other areas of parking right behind us, and that created great intensification on the other side of the street. And as you can imagine, visitors started using the parking lots that store owners and residents were paying for. And this is where the towing issue came into being. Councillor O'Meara recently organized an extra 30 spots in this parking lot just for the short term, while we find a better and long-term solution. So parking is definitely an issue. It's definitely been one of the major complaint areas of all our residents. I receive a couple of emails a day about parking alone. But at the end of the day, we're in control and we're going to sort it out, and we do have solutions available to us, but we must do a deeper study to make sure that we just don't band-aid solution the problem, but we find a solution for the long term. So here we are at the corner of Lakeshore Road and Bronte Road, and one of the reasons we're here is because this is the site of major congestion. But I get calls again all the time asking me about this corner. How can we make it safer, particularly with all the development going on around? So it's important for residents to know that environmental impact assessment is being done right across Lakeshore and all the way to the downtown. And we're going to see solutions in the near future. But I want everybody to contact me with their ideas so I can make sure they're brought to City Council. So we're along the Lakeshore Strip here, just down from the bank. Behind me you'll see a lot of seniors' residences. And there is a problem. I have had a lot of questions about, can something be done to allow seniors to cross over to the shopping and commercial areas here in Bronte? What is underway is there will be a traffic walk installed, and I'll do my best effort to make sure that's done this year. I mean, it's already planned and underway to be done this year, but you know, as town councillor, my job is to be diligent to make sure these things get done on time. I should point out that a part of my volunteer work over the years, I used to coach Little League Baseball, and play on this diamond right here and throughout other parts of Oakville. Has a thriving Little League community. It also has a thriving soccer community, as any parents know. And it's really important to me that we maintain the integrity of this aspect of our livable Oakville plan. Our parks and recreational facilities are really important to us, and they're a major way that all of us can keep fit. So here we are in Bronte Creek. Bronte Creek is actually part of Ward 4, but after this coming election will be part of Ward 1. I've talked to many of the residents over recent weeks to find out their concerns. One of the major concerns has to do with this throughway. This is Colonel William Parkway. Colonel William Parkway is a wonderful through street, and it's outfitted with great cycle lanes. But the difficulty is it actually becomes a throughway from Dundas Road all the way down to Upper Middle. So many cars cut through here rather than go down Bronte Street. And that gives a lot of parents concern. You can see behind us there's a school, and there are a couple schools in this neighborhood. So speeding traffic and children's safety is a major concern. So something will have to be done here, and I'm looking into it, to reduce traffic speed. The second challenge in this area that many residents have been talking to me about is just recreational facilities. All the other areas of Oakville are furnished with great recreation facilities. Here there's not much. So there's a real demand for a new facility that also caters to the seniors in the neighborhood. Those are the main issues that people have been talking to me about in Bronte Creek. And again, welcome Bronte Creek to our ward, and please come out and vote in this election. Now where I am right now is the Spears Corridor between 3rd Line and Bronte. When my family came to Oakville in the mid-80s, we first located just back here in this building. But as time went by and as industry shifted, there was a greater demand for high-tech manufacturing, so we took the leap and embraced it. And so eventually we moved further down the street, where we employed 100 plus people, a third of them from welfare. That was our commitment to the community, that we would reach out into the community and train people on welfare and offer them long-term high-tech jobs. So what we have here in this corridor is a lot of new, thriving high-tech and low-tech businesses, living wage jobs. A lot of companies have moved themselves to Oakville for a variety of reasons. They have the support of the local high-tech supplier base. We're close to the U.S. border and Toronto. We're close to the airport. And I want to make sure that companies continue to recognize Oakville as its thriving location. So here we are at the foot of Great Lakes Boulevard. And if you go right across Great Lakes at Lakeshore, you notice behind us is a ship at the end of the jetty. This jetty is very well used. A lot of oil tankers come here to unload the oil that goes to the tanks at the Suncor plant. And then those tanks are loaded up into trucks and distributed locally. But there is a concern coming from residents in the ward who live at the condo units along the lakeshore. And that's just some of the ships can be quite noisy at night, in particular when they're trying to get to sleep. So they have to close their windows, etc. through the day. I've been talking to Councillor Robinson about this. Suncor has been very good at addressing the neighborhood's plans, and we'll continue to dialogue with Suncor just to make sure that we do whatever we can to keep the noise down. And there are things we can do, but I want to ensure residents in this area, in the Lakeshore Woods condominiums, that we're on it. And I'm happy to talk about it with anybody moving forward. So here we are at Bronte's Waterfront Heritage Park. You can see it's a spectacular place for people to come, and people from all over Ward 1 come here to use the facilities. So that's what it was built for. But also I just wanted to point out that this is the best place for the office of a town councillor. I've heard from many residents that it's important that your town councillor live in the ward. Not all candidates do. I live right here at Glendella Cottage. This is near the waterfront park, as mentioned. That's where everybody in our community comes to use the park and use the facilities. So I think it's an appropriate location for your next town councillor. For me, this is a full-time job. And full-time just doesn't mean 9 to 5. It's going on around the clock. When you live in the heart of the ward, you're connected to everything going on 24/7. You're welcome to come down and we can discuss issues whenever you like.